I don't think people talk enough about what happens after a long relationship ends. Not just the heartbreak, not just missing the other person, but something much stranger, the feeling that somehow you've lost part of yourself. When people hear breakup, they usually imagine crying over photos, missing late night conversations, wanting the person back. And yes, all of that hurts, but after spending years with someone, the pain becomes something much deeper. Because one day you wake up and realize you don't actually know who you are without them. I entered adulthood with her. Everything that shaped me as an adult happened while she was by my side. Every achievement, every mistake, every holiday, every birthday, every ordinary Tuesday evening. When I think about the last 6 years of my life, almost every memory has her somewhere in it. Not because she was controlling my life, but because she was simply there. She wasn't just my girlfriend, she was my best friend, the person I would text when something funny happened, the first person I wanted to tell about good news, the person who knew when something was wrong before I even admitted it to myself. She was my safe place. And I don't think I realized just how much of my emotional world lived inside the relationship until it was gone. People often tell you to focus on yourself after a breakup, to rediscover your hobbies, spend time with friends, work on yourself. And honestly, they're right. I've loved with friends, I've played games, I've met new people, I've had genuinely good moments. But then I come home, the room becomes quiet, and suddenly I remember that there isn't one person who automatically knows how my day went. There isn't one person who's already thinking about me without me having to reach out first. That's when the emptiness came back. For a long time, I thought what I missed was having a girlfriend, but I don't think that's entirely true anymore. I think what I miss is having someone with whom I could completely put the mask down, because that's another thing nobody talks about. How many of us slowly become experts at pretending we're okay? You become the funny friend, the cheerful one, the one who checks on everyone else, the one who asks, is everything really okay? But you rarely stop to ask yourself, who asks me that? Who notices when I'm pretending? Who knows the difference between my real smile and the one I wear because I don't want to make anyone uncomfortable? I've realized that for years my relationship became the only place where I allowed myself to be completely vulnerable. I could cry there. I could admit I wasn't okay. I could say I was scared without feeling weak, without feeling like a burden. And maybe that's why losing it hurt so much. Because I didn't just lose a relationship, I lost the only place where my emotions felt like they belonged. Since then, something else has become painfully clear. I know a lot of people. I laugh with people almost every day. I joke around, I'm surrounded by conversations, yet I've never felt so lonely. Not because I'm physically alone, but because emotional loneliness is different. You can spend an entire day with people and still feel like nobody truly knows what's happening inside your head. And that's a strange kind of loneliness. One that doesn't disappear just because you're surrounded by others. I've also learned something uncomfortable about myself. Whenever someone makes me feel understood, whenever someone listens without judging, whenever someone makes me feel emotionally safe, part of my brain immediately wants to turn that into something romantic. For a while I thought something was wrong with me, but I think I finally understand why it happens. For years, emotional intimacy and romantic intimacy became the same thing in my mind. The only person I ever truly opened up to was my partner. So now, whenever someone creates that same feeling of safety, my heart gets confused. Not because I'm deeply in love, but because my brain learned that vulnerability belongs only inside a romantic relationship. I'm slowly realizing that this isn't love. It's hunger. Hunger for connection. Hunger for being understood. Hunger for a place where I don't have to perform. And maybe that's the biggest lesson this breakup has forced me to face. I spent years believing that one person could be my entire emotional world, my partner, my best friend, my comfort, my future, my home. And while there is something beautiful about loving someone that deeply, it's also terrifying. Because when that person leaves, it feels like your whole emotional structure collapses. I've been asking myself a difficult question lately. Who am I when nobody is watching? Who am I when I'm not somebody's boyfriend? Who am I when I can't define myself through another person? I don't think I have the answer yet. But maybe that's okay. Maybe healing isn't about finding another person to fill the empty space. Maybe it's about slowly discovering that I exist even in the silence, that my identity isn't gone. It's just waiting to be rebuilt, not from scratch, but from experience, from mistakes, from friendships, from family, from the parts of myself I never had the chance to discover because I was always looking at life through the lens of us. I still miss her. I probably will for a long time. And I don't think that's something to be ashamed of. When someone shares years of your life, they're never completely erased. They become part of your story. But maybe that's all they become. A chapter, not the entire book. I don't know exactly what my future looks like. Some days I still feel like I'm suffocating under the weight of everything I've lost. Other days I laugh so hard with friends that for a moment I forget. And maybe that's what healing really is. Not waking up one day and feeling nothing, but slowly having more moments where life reminds you that there's still something worth staying for. If you're listening to this because you feel like you've lost yourself after losing someone you've loved, I want you to know something. You're not broken because you feel empty. You're grieving not only a person, but a version of yourself that existed with them. And that version mattered, but so does the person you're becoming now. Maybe we don't find ourselves after a breakup. Maybe we create ourselves again. One honest conversation, one difficult day, one small step at a time.